I'm sure this will be a short video. Here, if you guys have a little patience, I'm going to tell you about Dragon Stars, which is essentially the budget figure arts line they do for Dragon Ball, they being Bandai. And more importantly, we're going to talk about our favorite guy with the Napoleon complex, the king of Widow's Peaks, Vegeta. So getting this figure out of the box, the first thing I'm going to say is, he's like half hair. Look at that. It's not inaccurate, don't get me wrong, but Jesus Christ, guys. Vegeta really loves that hair gel, that's all I'm going to say. Alright, that's enough jokes you would have heard 30 years ago, let's actually talk about the figure. So Dragon Stars have done quite a few Vegetas over the years. They did a Super Vegeta, they did a Super Saiyan God Vegeta, Super Saiyan Vegeta, they did original, like, Saiyan Arc Vegeta. This is one of the newer ones. Whenever I see this costume, I always think of it as the Android Saga Vegeta, because I think this is where that costume first showed up. But really, this is Vegeta's, like, main costume. When you think of Vegeta, you either think of him in this outfit, or his big shoulder pad, Frieza armor. That's kind of just his default looks, what can I say? And overall, I think they captured it pretty well here. Getting a closer look, and yeah, that hair is really distracting. I really think they went a bit too far with it, but the face sculpt is decent. There's a very slight smirk. I wish they had picked that out with maybe a little bit of black paint, but it is there. You have a little bit of head articulation, good ball joint up there, universal at the shoulders, good rotation up here at the upper arm, double jointed elbow, universal at the wrist. You have a waist swivel, no ab crunch, no diaphragm. You have a hip universal cut up here in the upper leg, double jointed knee, universal at the foot. He doesn't have all the points that Cooler or Cell had, yet he is very articulated all the same. You can get him in a good few decent poses, just because the points they put in all make a decent amount of sense. They all have something that allows you to elevate the figure, and you have a decent range with all those points as well. It's a great case of sometimes it's not the number of points you put in, but how much space you give those joints to move around. In terms of articulation, paint, and sculpting, Vegeta is undoubtedly a solid enough figure, especially for a around $20 price tag. Whereas Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series, DC Multiverse, these are all getting closer to $25. Hell, Black Series is getting closer to fucking $30. Dragon Ball Dragon Stars are still sticking pretty closely to $20. That said, you're paying for it in the accessories. This is all you get with Vegeta. 2 fists, 2 open hands. Though at least the figure is solid enough. As I said in my last video, I was hoping that these figures were going to start being more like Cell and less like Cooler, and I definitely think this Vegeta fits more in line with what I liked about that perfect Cell. Bringing Cell and Cooler in for scale, Vegeta is slightly too tall, but most of it's just the hair. The head is exactly where it needs to be, but because they went so crazy on getting Vegeta's hair a little bit more wild than it really needed to be, it's just a hair off. But still, nothing that would break this figure. Overall, this is a very solid Vegeta. Again, not a patch on things like figure arts, but it is $20, and the Vegeta is a good enough, solid enough figure. I'm really impressed, and I'm happy that the first more human character I've gone from Dragon Stars turned out this well. I'm hoping that Goku and Android 18 are going to turn out as good as they were able to capture this Vegeta.